Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm Dane, your host of the Rock and Metal Guardian. Hope you're having a great day wherever you may be. Today is a first for the channel, and what I mean by that is I'm going to talk about one of my favorite bands of all time that I've not talked about yet, and that is the band Iron Maiden. And that is the best Iron Maiden albums ranked. So let's get started. Coming in at number 10 is Brave New World, the comeback album with Bruce Dickinson after the two Blaze Bayley records. And while this is not a perfect album, I still regard it as a comeback album. It's a comeback for Bruce Dickinson because he's returned to the band, right? Of course. But it's also a comeback album because you have lyrically and stylistically a return to form in many ways. Again, it's not perfect, but I do consider this one of my favorite Iron Maiden albums of all time. And it is number 10. And with the exception of the song Blood Brothers, it's just not something that's my cup of tea. Kind of very repetitive with respect to the lyrics, and they play it live, and people have complained about that. A lot of people like the song. I'm not one of them. But the songs I do like the most, there are 4. I like the whole album except for, as I said, Blood Brothers, but these are my top 4. The title track, Ghost of the Navigator, Wicker Man, and Out of the Silent Planet. So Wicker Man is a return to form lyrically because you're doing the horror story genre, right? So it would kind of fit right in with the third album, Number of the Beast, although production-wise it wouldn't fit in, but lyrically, excuse me, it would. So number 10, Brave New World, and I love the album cover with Eddie superimposed from the sky, right? Okay, so number 9 is a live album, and that is Made in England, 88. And this was for the Seventh Son of the Seventh Son tour. You have Moonchild, The Evil That Men Do, The Prisoner, Still Life, Die With Your Boots On, Infinite Dreams, Killers, Can I Play With Madness, Heaven Can Wait, Wasted Years, the 10th song, one of my favorite Iron Maiden songs of all time, CD2, The Clairvoyant, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, The Number of the Beast, Hallowed Be Thy Name, Iron Maiden, Run to the Hills, Running Free, and Sanctuary. So you get a nice dose of songs from the first 2 albums with Paul Di'Anno, but with Bruce on vocals. And, of course, you got a lot of songs from Seventh Son. There's some tracks I would like to have made it on here, but the production of this is quite good, and I just love this album. It's really hard to explain, but I just like it, despite the fact that, as I said, there's some songs that this could have been easily a triple album. Anyway, so that's number 9. Number 8 is album I just mentioned, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. If you don't know this, Bruce Dickinson is a big Jethro Tull fan. If you can still get the singles box set with all the singles that didn't make it on the albums, they do a cover song of Cross-Eyed Mary. There's also YouTube videos of him performing with them, or at least with Ian Anderson and his band. And while this does not sound like Thick as a Brick at all, it's got that aesthetic of where the beginning and the end are the same. The lyrics of the Seventh Son of the Seventh Son, right? And which introduces and closes the story. So it comes full circle. And of course, Thick as a Brick does that as well. So you get Moonchild, Infinite Dreams, Can I Play With Madness, The Evil That Men Do, Seventh Son, title track, The Prophecy, The Clairvoyant, and Only the Good Die Young. Only 8 songs. I had this on vinyl as a kid. I was not the biggest fan when this came out. I was disappointed. I saw them live for this tour at UNO Lakefront Arena. It was with Halloween and Anthrax, I believe. It was a Headbangers Ball thing, or either was that, or it was them with Ace Frehley. I forget. I think it was that one actually. And I've warmed up to this. Am I still disappointed by it? Yeah, but I've warmed up to it. If you can reconcile those two opposites. But yeah, I have to put it in my top 8. It's in my top 8. So it's coming in at number 8. So Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. I remember reading as a teenager. I always look forward to in like Hit Parader or Circus or Kerrang, because my mom would get these for me, or I would buy them sometimes. Say, Mom, I got it. You don't need to get it for me. And with my allowance, she was great. And I remember that reading an article And Bruce Dickinson was talking about in an article how he was penning some lyrics that had to do with a seventh son of a seventh son. And coincidentally, so the story goes, so was the bass player, so Steve Harris. So I was like, wow. So hence the conception of this album. So number 8. Here comes another album that it took me a bit to warm up to, but I do like it, hence making number 7, and that is Somewhere in Time. I used to have this on, I had all this on vinyl. I miss having this on vinyl, so I could just pour over the album art for hours and hours, and you get a nice little booklet. Get great photos. Looks like David Cassidy, doesn't he? There's Steve. There's Bruce. Anyway, and then you get, could pour over the back again. So many, Blade Runner themes here and other things going on. And Caught Somewhere in Time, almost a title track, right? Wasted Years, Sea of Madness, Heaven Can Wait, probably my least favorite song. The Loneliness of the Long Distance Runner. I used to hate that song. Now it's one of, I would say top 20 Iron Maiden songs. I know some people go, oh, I hate that song. Well, I like it. Stranger in a Strange Land, I just love. Deja Vu is fantastic, if you ask me. And Alexander the Great, probably the masterpiece of this album in so many ways. And people have been waiting and waiting for them to finally play this live. And on the most recent tour, you can see it on YouTube and other places where they finally play this live. So Alexander the Great, great song. Now, this one that I'm about to show you, number 6 and number 5, I often flip-flop, but I think it belongs at number 6, and I'm talking about Power Slave. Great album. And so you get Aces High, 2 Minutes to Midnight, the 2 big songs from the album, Lost for Words, Big Aura, Flash of the Blade, The Duelists, Back in the Village, Power Slave is great, the title track, and then Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner is great as well. Also produced by Martin Birch, the master, right, in so many ways. And then coming in, so that was 6. Coming in at number 5 is the sophomore effort, Killers. And so what's great about this in the first album is you get that heavy metal / punk aesthetic. It's a combination of the two, and Paul Di'Anno, God bless him, lent very well to that punk aesthetic, in not just the way that he dressed, but in the way that he sang and his presence on stage. You get them so young in this photo, right? And standing with Eddie. This creepy album cover my mom wouldn't let me have. Anyway, so my friend made it for me on cassette. You get this nice little disc with the new art work there. And so you get the Ides of March, Wrathchild, great song, Murders in the Rue Morgue, Another Life, probably my least favorite, Genghis Khan, Innocent Exile, Killers, the title track, Prodigal Son, Purgatory, and Drifter. Also produced by Martin Birch, a.k.a. the Headmaster, as he's nicknamed on this album. So Killers, great album from start to finish. And then coming at number 4, Iron Maiden's debut. And again, I've talked about this before. You got the cheap Eddie face or mask up here, right? Not into the big bucks yet, the band, right? But just a fabulous debut. Prowler, Remember Tomorrow. I love that song. It's a slow song, but it's so great. Metallica covered it. Running Free, Phantom of the Opera, maybe my favorite song on this album, maybe. Transylvania, Strange World, Charlotte the Harlot, and of course, the title track and the band name, Iron Maiden. All right. Coming in at number 3, Number of the Beast. This is, right, the debut of Bruce Dickinson, and the last with Clive Burr on drums, unfortunately. You get all the homages to horror stories and science fiction, right? Invaders, the TV show about aliens from the late 60s. Those great classic TV shows. I remember watching those when I was a kid in rerun. It would start with a prologue and end with an epilogue. They don't do that anymore on TV. I miss that. Children of the Damned, horror movie, right? I forget which came first, that or Village of the Damned. Anyway, the kids with the glowing eyes, right? Really creepy. The Prisoner from the TV show. 22 Acacia Avenue. The Number of the Beast, the biblical thing. Run to the Hills. Native American story. Gangland, my least favorite, and then Hallowed Be Thy Name, the masterpiece to close the album. Talk about a great closer. Martin Birch again. My second favorite of all time, Peace of Mind. Again, reading Kerrang or Hit Parader or something, probably Hit Parader. And when this came out, the band did an interview, and they talked about how they thought this was their best album. Couldn't have been more right? Where Eagles Dare, Revelations, and Flight of Icarus, those two of my favorite songs on this album. Revelations is probably my favorite Iron Maiden song of all time. What can you say about She Came to Me with a serpent's kiss as the eye of the sun rose on her lips. Moonlight catches silver tears that I cry, right? It's just great. Die With Your Boots On, The Trooper, Still Life, Quest for Fire, a little bit. Not as good. Sun and Steel, I'm quite fond of. And then The Wonderful, To Tame a Land. They couldn't use the word Dune because when the band approached Frank Hebert, the author, he got really upset. So the story goes and said, I cannot stand heavy metal. I despise it. So that was a big no. Could have cashed in, I guess. Anyway, To Tame a Land. And this is where it started, for better or worse. Iron Maiden's delving into prog rock or prog metal. And I say for good or ill because I like this. I like the stuff on Somewhere in Time. I like the stuff on Seventh Son. I like the stuff on Power Slave, Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. I teach romantic literature. I'm a big Blake and Coleridge and Shelley and all those guys, right? The 6 major British romanticists. So I love Coleridge. So I get it. But then the later stuff with Senjutsu and Book of Souls, just really not my cup of tea. Try not to hurt anyone's feelings, but it's just the way I feel. So, but this is fabulous. My second favorite Iron Maiden album of all time. And my favorite Iron Maiden album of all time is Live After Death. This is to Iron Maiden what Kiss Alive is to Kiss. You got the intro with Churchill's speech, Aces High, 2 Minutes to Midnight. What a great way to open. You get Trooper, Revelations, Flight of Icarus back to back to back. You get the glorious 13 minutes and change Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, Power Slave, then The Number of the Beast, going into older waters, right? Hallowed Be Thy Name, Iron Maiden, even older waters, Run to the Hills, Running Free. So Bruce closing CD1 with a Paul Di'Anno tune, then opening CD2 with the Paul Di'Anno tune, Wrathchild, 22 Acacia Avenue, Children of the Damned, Die With Your Boots On, and then closing with Phantom of the Opera. What a great way to end a live album. So I love this album. Fabulous. So there you have it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to click the like and subscribe button to help this young channel grow. And more importantly, click the notification button so that you can be apprised of all upcoming videos. Thank you so much for watching. Have a blessed day. Take care now. Bye.